Hi, today I'm going to discuss a novel by R K Narayan, Man-Eater of Malgudi. Man-Eater of Malgudi is a famous novel written by a noted Indian English novelist R K Narayan. Before I talk about Man-Eater of Malgudi, I just want to say a few words about R K Narayan. R K Narayan is considered as one among the great trio, the other being Raja Rao and Mulk Raj Anand. R K Narayan is famous for his Malgudi novels. Like Hardy's Wessex novels, we see the development of such a regional novel in India, in which he pictures a South Indian town called Malgudi. In all his major novels, and to quote few, whether it is Waiting for Mahatma, Vendor of Sweets, The Guide, Financial Expert, Malgudi Days, you can see the portrayal of Malgudi in this particular works. Coming down to this particular novel, Man-Eater of Malgudi, it's a social novel, of course, dealing with the theme of good and evil, the conflict between the virtue and the vice. The novel deals with the story of Natraj and Vasu. Natraj, on the one hand, is a very nice, pious man, and Vasu is the antagonist, a very bad. He is the man-eater in this particular novel. The story is simple here. In the beginning, R K Narayan writes about Malgudi, a South Indian town. We can see so many things in this town. There is a market road. On the market road, the press of Natraj is situated. There is Kabir Street, where Natraj's house is situated just behind market road. You have the river called Sharayu, where so many activities take place. Someone goes there for bathing, someone goes there for washing, someone goes there for, taking the kettle for, drinking water. And you can also see there is a Mempi village near Malgudi. There is a forest, Mempi forest, which are very common in other novels of R K Narayan. Anyway, the novel in the beginning, portrays the life of Natraj. Natraj is a self-contented man, very pious man, running a printing press on Market Road. To say something about this press is a very interesting place where people come and go, sit. This is a very small place. Of course, there is a parlor. Just behind that, there is a press. And he was accompanied by Shastri. Shastri is working in the press. People think that there are many people working in the press, but it was only Shastri who was working both as a composer and printer. He was everything to Natraj, a friend, a philosopher, everything. And if you look at the other people in the parlor are people, there is one journalist, his name is Sen. He was talking about politics, he was talking about the fire plan. There is one more fellow, the poet, who was writing about Radha Krishna Kalyana, and he was writing this poem in monosyllabic words. So a lot of discussion was going on about the development of the poem. And they want to celebrate the marriage of Radha and Krishna in a different way. So there were people who used to come for printing. There were people who used to come and sit. Even the boys from the other press, Star Press, they used to come and sit whenever they don't have work. This is how things were going very smoothly. But when Vasu comes to Malgudi, all the peaceful life of Malgudi is disturbed. Vasu once comes to get letterhead and 500 visiting cards printed, and he was a very different kind of a man, and we come to know about Vasu's life. Vasu describes himself that he was a double postgraduate. He had an MA in economics. He studied in Presidency College. He had been to North India. He turned himself to be a wrestler, and when his master used him as a showpiece, he hit his own master and came down to Junagadh, where he trained himself as a taxidermist by one Mr. Suleiman. And after that, he came down to South in search of some kind of an employment. Now he is in Malgudi to continue his work as a taxidermist. And we also come to know that when Natraj was trying to clean the attic of his press, all the waste papers were taken. Vasu found this opportunity, and he forcibly came and stayed in the attic, that is the upstairs of Natraj's press. He began to live in Natraj's place. This created unusual atmosphere for Natraj. From here we come to know that Natraj faced many problems because Vasu was not a nice man. He was involved in many illegal activities. He collected the animal skins, he killed deers, he killed tigers, he killed leopards. He used to bring all the carcasses of the dead animals, and for taxidermy, he had so many processes, and the stinking smell created a big problem in Market Road. Everyone complained that this is not an industrial area. This is a place where people are working, and Natraj wanted to get rid of Vasu. When he asked him to vacate the room, Vasu complained to the rent controller. Natraj had to receive summons from rent controller, and he faced many problems. Even he appointed adjournment lawyer. Adjournment lawyer was the man who even did not pay the money or charges for printing the wedding cards of his daughter. There is a corruption in legal system also. He kept on postponing the cases. That's why he is famous as an adjournment lawyer. And Vasu was in trouble. Another time Vasu was in trouble is that once Vasu took Natraj in his jeep in a reckless drive to Mempi village, and he left him without giving him any reason. He had heard that there is a tiger, and he went with a messenger and to kill the tiger. Natraj was left like a child without any help, and he didn't have money, and he was taken aback. And somehow he developed a friendship with Muthu. Muthu was a tea seller there, and he gave him tea, some bread, buns, and later he talked to the conductor and told him that he would give the money at the end of the journey. And this is how Natraj reaches Malgudi. And Vasu also troubled him during the collection of donations for celebrating the fair, and he took the book from Natraj and he went around the town and collected money, but he didn't give the money he collected from the people for the sake of Jatra, Narada Kalyan. So all things were going like this. Even Vasu behaved badly with the officers. He twisted the hand of an inspector. This shows that Vasu is not as per his education. Although he was a postgraduate, he behaved so rudely, and he became a big headache. One more great danger that Natraj heard is that Rangi gave him information that Natraj wanted to kill the elephant called Kumar. Kumar was actually used for a procession, and they wanted to celebrate the poet's poem, the wedding of Radha and Kalyana, to be celebrated as a part of season, spring season, and they want to celebrate in a grand way, and everyone was so happy to do that. But Vasu made a big change. Natraj began to feel the tremor, and he was crying. He tried to stop Vasu from killing the elephant, but Vasu was so reckless that he would never listen to Natraj. So the danger of elephant being killed remained psychological stress in the mind of Natraj. So Shastri was telling him, consoling him, that Vasu would meet his own end like Bhasmasura. Quite interestingly, we come to know that the postman reported that Vasu is dead. And there were mysteries around Vasu's death. Who killed Vasu? And even there was an inquiry, targeting Natraj, because Natraj was a man who tried to complain against Vasu. Natraj was a man who gave him, who had a conflict with him as far as rent and the renting of the room and other things are concerned. And Natraj was psychologically disturbed because the whole investigation was, centering around Natraj. Finally, Shastri came out with the news that Rangi informed him how Vasu died. Rangi told him that she was present when Vasu was dead, and Vasu killed himself in the sense that he was trying to avoid the mosquitoes which were troubling him during his sleep, and he hit himself with his fist. So he died of hammer fist. That's how she informed the cause of Vasu's real death. And this relieved everybody. Natraj was so happy that he is freed from all kinds of charges, false charges, and Malgudi is freed from this kind of a man-eater. Such a man, as Shastri predicted, he died of his own weaknesses, like Bhasmasura, who burnt himself by putting his head on his. And naturally, this man, whose fist was the most dangerous one, with the same fist he troubled everybody, and with the same fist he died. So finally, the novel comes to the close with the message that virtue is rewarded, vice is punished. The good wins over the evil. The conflict between the good and the evil. Finally, there is a poetic justice, and people like Natraj are sighing the sign of relief here, and finally everything comes to happy ending. So through this novel, R K Narayan tried to portray the South Indian society. Malgudi looks like microcosm of Indian town, and at the same time he speaks about variety of characters, corruption in the society, types of people, and how the human evil, creates a problem, and how this evil can also be, of course, eliminated by fate or by your own actions. So with this, I conclude my discussion on R K Narayan's Man Eater of Malgudi. Thank you.